Hey all, it's Aislinn here, just filming a very quick November wrap-up. I actually DNF'd two books this month. The first was Fairy Guardian, which was the first book in the Creepy Hollow series, a Violet story. I got 50 pages in, and the insta-love that happened like 30 pages in, it got to me, and I couldn't do it anymore, so I put it down. The other book was, I tried a time travel romance by the title of Lady Out of Time. I forget the author, but I will put pictures up here. Anyway, yeah, thank goodness it was whatever 99-cent read on the Kindle, because if I'd spent real money on that, I'd probably been pissed off. As for the books that I did get finished, I actually finished, I think there was 4 of them in total. Yeah, 4 of them. I finished Jade City by Vonda Lee. It was okay for me. It wasn't like my favorite type of fantasy. I really liked the Asian aspect of it. I liked the idea of Jade as like the power magic system coming from Jade. Some of the characters just didn't really click with me, though, particularly Hilo and Shay, which happen to be the 2 main characters. So, I mean, I finished the book and I certainly enjoyed it, but I don't think I'll be continuing on with the series. Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson, which was my big book of the month for November, I absolutely loved. I listened to it primarily on audiobook because I loved the audiobook for the first one, and I loved the second one. It did lag in spots. I do think it suffered a lot from second book syndrome. A lot of good setup, I think, happening for the third book, at least what I hope will happen for the third book, because it's the final book, leading up to what I am assuming is going to be the climax of the story, and it sounds like it's going to be like a great battle, so I look forward to that. I don't think I will read it in December, because I have other big books on my plate, but it's definitely one I will finish within the next couple coming months. Then, because I'm a mood reader, I got into a couple of mysteries. I read books 1 and 2 of the Sebastian St. Cyr, I think is how you pronounce it, series by C.S. Harris, I believe. They were library books, so I had to return them. Again, though, I'll track pictures down and I'll put them up here somewhere. The first one was What Angels Fear. Really enjoyed that one. That was like 5-star for me. It was very twisty and turny and extremely well done. The second one, I don't know, it kind of, I mean, it was, when compared to the first, it wasn't as good, but it was still a decent mystery and a good enough read. I understand there's like 15 books in that series, so I don't know if I'll read the whole series, but maybe as I'm looking for mysteries and they come available in my library, I may start to pick them up, so there may be some more of that. Anyway, that is where November ended. Very quickly into my December TBR now. My big book of the month that I picked out of my jar was Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. This has actually been on my TBR for a little over a year, so on one hand I'm kind of excited that it got picked out of my jar. On the other hand, I don't really know how I feel about a YA sci-fi at this time, so I may be moving on to a different big book. I'm going to play that one out and see. And then I have 3 other books that are definite want to get tos. This one I actually started today and I'm already almost halfway through. It's White Hot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. I actually started this a while back. Actually, I think it was actually the beginning of November. And I didn't get very far in before I put it down and toddled off to something else because, again, I'm a mood reader. If something's not holding my interest in that exact time, I tend to put it down and come back to it. But I may come to it. I'd like to because I started it. Again, YA sci-fi though, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, so it may not get read this month. But it's on the pile anyway. And then, of course, the one I'm really, really excited for, Conjuring of Light by V. Schwab. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to start this one, probably as soon as I finish White Hot Kiss. But that is, that is where November and December are sitting. And I'm going to end this before it gets too rambly, and I'll check in with you guys a little bit later. See ya.